Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. So I just thought I'd film a quick second trimester recap because I don't want it to be too long because, you know, I feel like it's not really a video that needs to be super long, but I thought considering I did a first trimester vlog, even though this is not really a vlog, this is more of like a sit down recap, because I feel like the first trimester there's always a lot that goes on, whereas second trimester tends to kind of be a little bit more calmer than the first. So yeah, this is more of just like a sit down video recapping everything that's gone on. I can't believe I will be in my third trimester next week. I think I've got that right. Yeah, I'm sure it's next week. So I thought I could, yeah, just kind of run through everything that happened. And it's quite a lot to think about actually, because like, I think your second trimester is 14 weeks to 27 weeks. So that's quite a long time to, you know, think of everything that happened. So I have made a little notes on my phone to kind of keep looking at, otherwise I'm bound to forget something, especially with the whole baby brain situation. I definitely feel that kicking in, and I didn't have the best memory before I was pregnant, so you can imagine how forgetful and just clumsy I am at the minute. But yeah, no, overall I think I've had a really good pregnancy. I feel like I can't really complain with my pregnancy. Well, you know, there's certain things that have happened where I have the right to moan, but I feel like, you know, there are people out there that have suffered much worse than me. So I feel like I should count myself lucky really with the sort of symptoms that I've had. So I'll talk about symptoms separately, but I've listed here that the second trimester is like, this is more for people that if you're watching this and you're like heading into your second trimester or something and you want to know kind of what to expect. Obviously I know everyone is different, but yeah, I've put more relaxing and less anxious than the first trimester, because the first trimester, which I did vlog like I said earlier, so if you want to watch it, it will be on my channel. I was so anxious for the first few weeks of my pregnancy. I think everyone is, to be honest, but I have never been so anxious in my life, and I feel like I'm quite a positive person, but I struggled in those first few weeks. I just kept thinking of the worst, because I just kept saying to myself it's too good to be true sort of thing, which is really sad. But yeah, I put myself through a lot of anxiety and stress the first few weeks, but I couldn't help it. So second trimester is definitely more, you feel more relaxed because you've had your 12-week scan, which obviously confirms that everything's okay. And then I suppose you do get a little bit anxious again, because it's like, oh my god, now the wait for the 20-week one, and you just hope that the baby's kind of like growing okay and everything's fine, and you feel like it's such a long time. Like, you know, I was saying to Harry, like, oh my god, like, to wait till the 20-week one is so long, and he's like, it's not. And I'm like, I just feel like for us women it is. But yeah, you do get a boost of energy as well, because I was very tired in my first trimester, and everyone kept saying like, in your second trimester you get like this boost of energy, and I just couldn't wait for this boost of energy. And yeah, it did kick in probably more so around, not straight away, like not like as soon as 14 weeks hit it like kicked in. I'd say more, it's hard to think back to it really, but probably like 17, 18 weeks from then on I kind of found my boost of energy. And then I feel like since probably 25, 26 weeks I've started to feel tired again. And then I've just listed a few things that obviously happen in the second trimester. So you get your 20-week scan, which is actually your last scan, which is crazy, because to think that you only get 2 scans unless you go private. I mean, I've in a way been quite lucky, because we had our private scan at the beginning, which we paid for, and then I had to go to the early pregnancy unit in my first trimester because I had some bleeding. So I had another scan at 9 weeks. Then I had my NHS one at 12, NHS one at 20, and we've also booked to have a 4D scan in 2 weeks, which I'm so excited about. And that will probably be our last, unless the NHS say that we need one towards the end. So yeah, to think that you only get offered 2 is quite sad, really, because you think, oh my god, like at your 20-week one, you think that's the last time I'm gonna see them until they're born, unless you pay for private one. But you know, they are quite pricey, so not everyone can, like, it's a bit much sometimes. Yeah, so you get your 20-week scan and they basically check how the baby is growing. Like when we went to our 20-week one, for some reason I just thought it would be very similar to the 12-week one, where you could literally see the whole body on the screen sort of thing. But I suppose they've grown since then, so I mean, you still can see most of the body, but at the 12-week one you could see like from head to toe. And I thought it would be the same at the 20-week one, but it wasn't. It was more like, and they do more checks, obviously they're checking literally everything, the brain, the heart, all the bones, and making sure everything is forming correctly and how it should be. And they did that for quite a while, where we was just looking at the screen thinking like, I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. And it was very quiet, and yeah, it was just like we didn't know if things were forming okay or not, until she said afterwards, everything looks good, now we can go on to kind of finding out the gender. So yeah, your 20-week one is definitely different to the 12, I'd say, for me personally. I still enjoyed it, but it just, I didn't quite see the baby how I thought I would. So yeah, but we still got a super cute photo. I'll insert, you know, the 20-week photo on the screen. And then I also had my first midwife appointment at 16 weeks. That was when they take your, so you have one in your first trimester, which is where they do a blood test, they do your weight, urine test, sample, and yeah, I think that was it. And they just kind of like put all your information in the system, really. And then you go for your next one, which is where you meet your midwife at 16 weeks, and that's where they do the blood pressure, urine sample, and we actually heard the heartbeat at that appointment, because we hadn't heard it up until then, because the NHS don't actually do it, and our private scan, I think it was too early to hear it. It wasn't easy to hear the heartbeat at that midwife appointment, I must admit. We really did kind of have to beg for it in a way. I don't know why they make it so hard now for parents to hear the heartbeat, but yeah, luckily we did get to hear it, but we wasn't going to unless we like really did ask for it. So yeah, I think that varies for everyone. And then I had my second midwife appointment, which was at 25 weeks, and that was my, again, blood pressure, urine sample. That is like, I think, one of the things they check every time. And then I also had my whooping cough jab, which is more for the baby, so I had that. So they're the sort of things to expect in your second trimester. And then I'll just quickly go on to like symptoms that I got in my second trimester, and I'll do a Q&A after this as well, because I did put a question box on my Instagram story for you guys to ask some questions that you had. So yeah, symptoms are, these are in no particular order, by the way, I've just listed the first ones that come to my head. Feeling warm, so I definitely feel like my body temperature has changed, which started probably around about 2 weeks ago, I'd say, so only recently, but I definitely feel warmer. My feet feel really hot. I feel like my feet are like the first place to get hot, and then that kind of like makes your whole body hot, really. But yeah, I do feel quite warm most of the time, unless I'm outside and it's like 0 degrees. But yeah, if I'm inside, I do feel quite stuffy and hot. Lower back pain I've been experiencing since 14 weeks. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I experienced that quite early on in my pregnancy. Only now I've discovered on my right side. So I don't know if it's sciatica. I did go to the doctors and he didn't really say that it was, and he didn't really say that it wasn't, but I am going to get physio, which I'm looking forward to because I just hope it helps a little bit. But yeah, it doesn't play up all the time, but it is most days that I can feel it. And like I said, it is on my right side and it's just a bugger. I find that it is actually worse during the night. Like, to roll over in bed, it's such a task at the minute, and I'm also finding that I'm not sleeping very well through the night anymore. Only in the last week I've noticed that. I get really stiff in the night, and yeah, it's I do feel quite achy and heavy down there yet, like now, so that is kind of taking a toll on me. But I'm going to do the physio, see how that goes, and I also use Tiger Balm. I know you can get a Tiger Balm for joint pain. It's called the red one, I think, but I've got the white ointment, which is more for like headaches and colds, but it's the only one I had at the time, and I thought, well, might as well use that up. And it still helps, it just takes the pain away a little bit. But I do want to get the red one because that is for joint pain, so hopefully that will help as well. I just want to do all I can because I know it's going to get worse as I get bigger and heavier. My mood swings and emotions have kind of changed. I'd say more so towards the end of the second trimester. I didn't really notice it at first, but I feel like in the last week or two I've been very emotional, especially this week, crying at the littlest things and just being really emotional and down. And yeah, it's been a struggle this week for sure, but I know that your hormones are all over the place and you do cry at the silliest things, and it is totally normal when you're pregnant. But yeah, this week especially I've noticed that. Stretch marks on my boobs I've noticed, not on my belly, mainly around my boobs. My boobs have really stretched and the nips have got bigger, and yeah, all of that is changing. But I haven't really noticed any on my stomach. I do use cream. I'm not good with it every day, I must admit, just because of like when I'd get in and stuff, I'm just I really can't be arsed, which is bad. But I've heard that sometimes creams don't really help anyway. It's more of a genetic thing when it comes to stretch marks. So if I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. I've also put down here, I felt very subtle movement at 17 weeks. That was the first sign of movement, which I can only describe as kind of like a bubble feeling. I don't really understand when people say butterflies. I didn't quite get that. It was more of like a bubbly feeling. They got stronger around 20 weeks, I think, and Harry didn't feel them until about 22 weeks. I think I said this briefly earlier, groin pain and lower stomach pressure I've been experiencing. So yeah, really kind of like painful in my groin area, which I did mention to my midwife, and she said that is normal. It's just the pressure of the baby kind of down there and growing. And yeah, sometimes I really do feel the pressure in my lower tummy. Also says here, felt very tired and achy in week 26, which I just said, but that could be down to working like long days. I don't know if that's like the tiredness kicking in because I'm heading into my third trimester, or if it's just because I'm working long days and it's just taken a toll. Constipation and trapped wind. Yeah, that's not pleasant. Really uncomfortable actually. Makes you feel really bloated and tight and makes your stomach really hard as well. Really uncomfortable. And lastly, I've been experiencing a little bit of mild heartburn. I don't think it's acid reflux, because I think acid reflux is when it comes up, as I've heard Harry say, because he gets acid reflux. So I think it's heartburn, but only mildly, I'd say. And more of a night time, sometimes throughout the day, but of a night time I just take Gaviscon and that tends to help, so it's not really like a major problem. So yeah, that is what I've experienced in my second trimester. So, you know, again, I feel like I've been very lucky, but you know, the back pain has had an effect. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it has got me down some days, and it's been really tricky to kind of push through the days when your body is literally, like, when it hurts to walk, that's when it gets hard, because it then kind of gets in the way of like everyday life, you know, like day-to-day things. So now I'm just going to do like a little like Q&A from all the questions that I got asked on Instagram. First one was, any changes with your mood? Well, as I kind of just said, yes, I have experienced a change in my mood in the last week, but I don't know if that's just down to, like I said, being tired, like overly tired, and just working long days. It'll be interesting to see like maybe next week. But when I was a couple days that I was stressed this week, I think I was so stressed that I even noticed like less movements with the baby, which then also got me down, because I was like, oh my god, like the stress is really that bad to the point where the baby isn't moving as much. And I googled it, and it did say that your body lets off a hormone if you're stressed, and it stops the baby from moving as much. So I was like, oh my god, like that was stressing me out. But it only was really like for 2 days. Like, I did feel her move, but they weren't as strong as they normally are. And I just thought, oh my god, like, you know, I need to sort myself out. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, I do feel a little bit more positive now than I did in the week, but I noticed that and I was like, shit, you know, I really need to try and not get stressed, because I don't want it affecting the baby, sort of thing. Someone said, hey, I really love your pregnancy vids. I'm 10 weeks and have found your vids so reassuring. Thank you. Oh, that's so lovely. Congratulations, 10 weeks. Wow, that's so exciting. That's like, well, yeah, you're nearly into your second trimester, so yeah, hopefully this video helps you with what to expect. Like I said, I know everyone's different, but hopefully it's a breeze for you and there's nothing that's gonna, you know, really get you down or interfere with your days. Someone said, how to deal with body changed / weight gain. Oh, that's a hard one, because I have definitely gained weight. Like, I do feel like my legs have got bigger. Mainly my legs. Like, people keep saying to me, like, you don't really look pregnant in the face, like you haven't really gained any weight in the face, and I haven't really noticed it kind of up here either, to be honest. I just feel like my legs have got a little bit chunkier, but I suppose that's because I'm not really doing much exercise as such. My job is mainly kind of sat on my butt all day. I do try and get up and move around as much as I can, and I do my water aerobics, I do my pregnancy Pilates, but I suppose I'm not doing as much as I was. So, you know, it's bound to happen. I do expect a bit of weight gain. I'm not weighing myself. I don't care about how much I weigh. I don't want to know. I don't think I need to know. I'm not eating particularly bad. I'm eating as I would normally and just making sure I get lots of fruit and veggies in and things that are good for the baby. If I want a treat, I'll have a treat, but I'm not eating for 2 or anything like that, because then I know I will gain weight, because I just know that I'm that sort of build that you know, I will gain weight and it will only make it harder for me to get it off at the end. So I'm not going to kind of have that mentality of eating for 2. But I have gained weight, and I think that's just, you know, normal pregnancy weight gain, and I'm just trying to tell myself that my body is growing a baby, and you know, I will keep fit as much as I can, but other than that, I just have to push through. It is hard to deal with the changes in your body. I'm not going to say it's easy. I look at my body and I think, oh god, like, you know, my boobs especially, like, they're changing, they don't look the same anymore. My legs are a little bit bigger, but I think, you know, it is what it is. Like, just really think about what your body is doing. Like, at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's amazing, and I'm just gonna work hard when the baby is here to kind of get myself feeling good again, and that's that. Are you enjoying pregnancy? Someone said, I am enjoying pregnancy. I wouldn't say I'm hating it or anything like that, but I do feel like I'm going to be so ready when it gets to the end. I'm going to be so ready to kind of get back into feeling just like not achy all the time, like, because that is the only reason. Like, I just feel achy all the time, so I just want to feel like, yeah, not achy, and just the simple things like rolling over in bed, like just be able to do that, or get up quickly, and you know, and not just have that constant like pain and discomfort. Someone said, when are you due? So I'm due the 14th of May. That is our due date. Can you do a baby names we love but won't be using video? I was thinking about this, but to be honest, like, I suppose I could do. I just didn't really feel like people wanted to, I don't know about all that. Maybe, I'll see. Someone said, do you have any names picked out? Yes, we do. Obviously, now we know we're having a girl, we have narrowed it down, so it makes it a lot easier, because we were struggling. Actually, no, we wasn't struggling. We had quite a few boy names that we were pretty set on. But now, obviously, we know it's a girl. We're still a bit undecided. Like, we're not set at all. But there's like, I'd probably say there's like 3 or 4 that we're still deciding on. It's such a hard thing to think about, I must admit. Like, that's their name that they're going to live with forever. It's such a big decision, and obviously it's something that you and your partner need to agree on. I know people are very opinionated when it comes to names. Like, we were discussing names with family over Christmas. Don't even, like, it's such a bad idea. Like, I just feel like people get too opinionated, and at the end of the day, it's not their decision, it's yours and your partner. I don't know why people feel like they have the right to have such an opinion, like, on your baby name before they're born. I just personally don't get it, but yeah, people do get opinionated. So we're just going to keep the names to ourselves and decide on that. Have you had any cravings? Not weird ones yet. I've heard a few weird ones, but I haven't experienced anything like that yet. Food wise, I'd say sweet stuff like fruit, which is good, but then also sweet stuff as in sweets. Like the two, so I guess the fruit is a good thing, but the sweets not so much. But I don't eat sweets every day, don't get me wrong. Every now and then I just like a little sweet treat, that's all. But yeah, I'd say at the moment it's definitely like sweet things. What has it been like with the kick-in for the first time, for a first-time mum? So the feeling of your baby moving is definitely the most amazing feeling. It can sometimes make you go a bit like, you know, when they're like really kind of moving and it feels like they're almost twisting or like really repositioning themselves. That can sometimes make you go a bit like, you know, whilst they're doing it. But yeah, the little kicks and stuff is, oh, it's so nice, and it's so reassuring as well. Like, you know, I had those couple days where the baby wasn't moving as much when I was stressed, and when she did start moving again, like more like stronger and stuff, like, you know, the movements were more stronger. Oh, it was just so nice, and it did put a smile on my face when she was moving stronger again. So yeah, it's definitely the best feeling, and it just makes me think like, oh my god, there's actually like a human being growing inside me. Like, what the hell? Sometimes I kind of forget that it's actually like a baby inside me, and then I sit there and realise, and I think, oh my god, like, it's just crazy. Like, and especially now, like, they're getting bigger. I mean, I know they're like all squished up, but I mean, it's about, or she is about that long, I think. It says that it's the size, I keep saying it, she is the size of a puppy, I think, at the moment. Oh, it's just bizarre when you sit there and like deep it. Do you wish you could take your maternity now with all the travelling to and from London? I get this a lot on TikTok as well, actually, because I do upload like daily vlogs on TikTok. I so wish that I could just go on maternity leave now, purely because every day is becoming a challenge, and yeah, it just gets a lot travelling to and from. So I am definitely counting down the days that I start my maternity leave. I'm looking to go end of April, so we are now 10th of Feb, so it's not that far away. So I do keep thinking to myself every now and then, like, if I'm having a shitty day, I'm like, not long to go, like it's gonna be here before I know it. But yeah, I just can't wait. Like, I'm so excited. Are you still working out during pregnancy? No, I'm not doing the body pump that I used to do. I used to do body pump twice a week here at work, like on my lunch break. And I used to do Pilates as well once a week, and then water aerobics on a Saturday. But I've scrapped the body pump. I scrapped that from early. I could not put myself through that. Like the first trimester, I was so tired. There was no way I was doing a body pump class. And then I said I'll get back into it in my second trimester, and I never did. But that's fine, because I still do the water aerobics. I can only obviously do that once a week because it's on a Saturday and I can't go during the week because I work. And I do my pregnancy Pilates, which I can do from home because it's a subscription which is on my laptop. So I find that helps for like stretching and stuff, like if I'm really achy. And obviously it helps you feel strong as well because you're working on your muscles. But yeah, I'm not working out as much as I was, but you know, maybe on a weekend I like to get out and walk about, and I'm always doing bits and bobs when I'm at home, like, you know, house bits, and I'm always up and about. So yeah, I try and make up for it. Anyway, I think that is it from me. I hope I've covered everything. Well, I feel like I have covered everything. As I said, I just wanted to do like a quick recap on the second trimester, and hopefully it gives a little insight for you guys if you're coming into your second trimester. But like I said, I know everyone is different, so you can't really compare at all. But a few things, I guess, to kind of expect. But yeah, I can't believe I'm going into my third trimester. Like, what the hell, this is going so quick. But I'm really excited. Like I said, I just keep thinking about the summer and having like a new baby. There's just so much good to come, and that's what I keep telling myself as well. Like when I have bad days, I just think the best is yet to come. Like, it's going to be such a good summer, such a good year, and yeah, I will get through it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all in my next one.